Hi everyone, it's Miss Marilise. Here I am in the stream room in the art section where you guys normally come. And I know that things are a little bit different, but it doesn't mean that we still can't be creative and make art and have lots of fun. So for our lesson today, we're going to talk about how we can create different patterns using lines. And so a line is a dot that went for a walk. Paul Klee is a famous artist that said that. So we're going to start with reading this book. And this book is called Lines That Wiggle. Are you ready? All right, here we go. Lines That Wiggle by Candace Whitman and illustrations by Steve Wilson. Look at all those lines, connecting each picture together. All right. Lines That Wiggle by Candace Whitman. Lines that wiggle. See it going side to side. Who's making those wiggly lines? It's a snake. Lines that bend. Oh my goodness. That elephant and the bird on top is making that bridge bend. It almost looks like a smiley line. Wavy lines, like the waves of the water from end to end. Who's poking underneath? Octopus with 8 wavy legs. Lines that tickle. The kitty's whiskers are tickling her. Look at her, she's smiling. How can we tell she's smiling? By that smile that's created from lines. Lines that sprout. So it sprouts from the bottom, the roots, grows up, and it's making loop-de-loop lines with pointed ends that look like leaves. Bugs have lines that stick right out. See that ladybug with the lines sticking out, wiggling down? Oh my goodness. And look at this one. Does he look scared? Look at his teeth. Those are different lines. They're zigzags. What about this picture makes you think that maybe he looks a little prickly or hairy? Those lines can give texture. See those little lines over here, all over? Oh, he's reading about bugs. And there's one tickling him. Lines to trap. What bug is that? That is a spider. Made a spider web. So it starts in the middle and radiates around and then makes lines like this. Look at that. It looks like a triangle. Lines to hide. So what do these look like? Giraffes. And they have long straight lines. And look who's camouflaged behind. They're blending in using the same pattern of lines, but in a different color. He's hiding. You see his smile? That's a line. 2 lines running side by side. And down the stairs. Look at that. They're giving each other a high five, riding their bikes. See those little dashed lines? Lines that curve. I see lots of curvy lines here. What is this? Is that a mummy with lines going side to side, curving? What about this? Here's the sun, and radiating around it, going around the sun, are those similar dashed lines like we saw in the other page. Uh-oh, it's coming undone, and they're making lines that curl. See the loop-de-loop? Loop, loop-de-loop. Underwater lines that swirl. I love swirly lines. Look at that. Let's follow it. And a loop around. Big loops, little loops, going all the way around. Oh, this one looks like a big swirl going down, spouting out of the whale, and around we go. Lines that crisscross. So it looks like a trap. They're trapped inside. And you see the lines? They're straight lines that are diagonal, and then they're crossing the other way diagonally. Lines that mend. Oh, look at that. See that sweet bee? You see how the stem of the flower looks like it broke off. So the bee is trying to mend it together by using his line to weave it and wrap it around. Mend means to fix things. Lines with doggies at the end. Look at that, the French pussycat. You see, he is smiling. He has his little beret. There's the Eiffel Tower that we find in France. That's what made me realize it's a French cat. And he's walking the dogs on leashes. Some of the leashes are shorter. Some of the leashes are longer. They're curved. Lines that scurry. Oh my goodness, I can almost feel that. Can you feel that? The little dashed lines going. How does he look? Does he look scared? What lines on his face show that he's scared? Look at the eyebrows. See how they're pointed up? Look, they're worried. And the lines under his eyes. And look at the lines in his eyeballs. He's a little scared. Lines in threes. 1, 2, 3. Falling around, following the curves, loop-de-loop, going through the little polka dots. Lines in leaves that grows on trees. Now these are cool, and when you're outside, try to find some leaves and flip it over and look at the veins of the leaves. That's what they're called. And you'll see the lines that come out. They're actually bumpy. They're pretty cool. Lines that twist. Look at the school bus going around the Bigfoot. See how it's twisting all around? Lines that sway. So remember I talked about how lines can give texture and show movement. So does it look like it's a hot sunny day? Or maybe it's a windy day. It looks like the bird is hanging on for dear life on that blade of grass and is blowing away its feather. The lines are giving that illusion that it's windy. Not only because it's swaying, but then if you look behind the cloud, there's the dashed lines that look like the wind is whoosh, blowing away. Lines that swoosh the flies away. Look at the horse's tail, and it's like swatting it. See how it moves around and swoosh. Oh, look at that one. You see that line, and can you hear a sound that's associated with that line? Lines that light up the sky. Those are called zigzag lines. But what's happening in this picture? It's a dark cloud, and it's lightning, and then you can hear a thunderclap. So lines can also give emotion, can give you a sense of sound, excitement. Look at those zigzag lines. And also, it's saying, stay away, lightning. You do not want to be hit by the lightning. And rainbow lines way up high. Lines are everywhere you look. That's true. Look at this picture. They're in the park. There's the line of the hill. There's the lines of the utility poles. There's the lines of the rain, the sun rays, the sunshine lines. Look, even the texture of his furry hair is kind of zigzaggy. The circle lines of his bicycle, the leashes on the dogs, the dashed lines of the streets, the wavy lines in the water. Look, the fish has crisscross lines. And look, see that little curved line? It makes him look like he has a puffy cheek. The lines of the giraffe are straight lines. The radiating lines going around the flowers. The curvy lines. Oh, the dashed lines of those scattering bugs. The mending lines that go loop-de-loop. The veins of the leaves that go sideways. I want you guys to look in your classroom and see what kind of lines you can see. The end. So did you look around the room and find some lines? Just look at my table right here. I already see a bunch of different lines. There's these lines from the basket that you guys will be having in your room in a minute. Look at the pattern lines on my card over there. They make a pretty gem-shaped line. The circle lines of Miss Rebecca's basket. And let's look at this. So we know what this is. This is a pumpkin, right? And even the pumpkin has lines that goes all the way around. This is Miss Ivy's pumpkin that she brought to you guys. And the shape itself is kind of round, but is it a perfect circle? Not really. So we are going to be drawing our own pumpkin. And is it okay if it's not a perfect circle? Of course it's okay, because all pumpkins have different shapes. And look at the stem. The stem kind of twists, but it goes a little straight up. So what I want us to do is, on a blank sheet of paper, let's just practice some lines and create patterns out of them. So patterns are when you repeat a shape or a line to create more than one. So did you remember some of the lines that we saw? We saw some straight lines. So you can do a flat line like that. Is mine really straight? No. Is that okay? Yes, it is. So how can we make a pattern out of that? We can make it by rows of lines that go this way. So if they go this way, that's called horizontal. Like a ruler, it's flat, horizontal. Oh, I just drew on the pumpkin. Sorry, Miss Ivy. How about if we did little lines? Remember those dashed lines of the bugs or the dashed lines on the streets? All right. How about if we do a vertical line that goes up and down straight? That looks a little crooked to me. But again, is that okay? Of course it is. So how can we make a pattern with straight lines? Can we make some taller ones and some shorter ones? Like that. That's a pattern because they're straight lines, they're repeating, but we're making it smaller. Or how about if we do sets of lines like that? So those are straight lines. Now remember we talked about that net in the book that was crisscross. What letter does that look like? The letter X. So you can make a pattern of diagonal lines. That means they go sideways. Or you can crisscross them. Look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, what's some other lines? How about wavy lines? Like the water? So can we do a pattern of wavy lines? Let's try it out. Now my paper is trying to move. So it's moving away with me, but look at those wavy lines. All right. What about bumpy lines? Imagine a rabbit hopping. Hop, hop, hop. Okay, how can we make that pattern? Do another one under. Or when you're trying to make a shape, you can have it go all the way around. Look at that, hop, hop. Can you guys tell what I'm about to make with those hop lines? What did I just make? I'll do a circle in the middle. I'll do a straight line down. I'll do a diagonal line. Look at that. Another diagonal. Oh, did I just draw a flower out of lines? Yes. Because as a famous artist, Paul Klee, says, a line is a dot that went for a walk. And depending on where you start, see, and where you take it, will tell you what kind of line you can do. So we have horizontal straight line, vertical straight line, diagonal lines that goes crisscross, wavy lines, bumpy lines that goes hop. Remember that one that I said could make you even think of a sound, like the lightning bolt? What kind of line was that? A zigzag line. Like that. Could you make it a pattern? How can we make it a pattern? We're going to repeat the line, right? If you repeat it more than once, it's a pattern. If you see that on clothes, that's called a chevron pattern. All right, what else can we do? So many options. I'm going to flip my paper over. How about Hill lines like a roller coaster. All the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. So just by repeating this, that's actually making a pattern. What about loop-de-loops? Loop, like a true roller coaster that goes all the way upside down. They make Miss Marilee's dizzy now. I can't do them anymore. But when I used to, they were fun. How about dots? We were talking about dots. Can we make a pattern of dots? Can we make bigger dots? So dots are filled in, right? So what's the difference between this and that? This is a dot, it's filled in. And the line that goes around like that, that's not filled in, is a circle. So you can do a pattern of circles. So we've done a lot of different lines. Whoops, let me flip it over this way. And I want you guys to pick a few and practice. There's no right or wrong, but I want you to pick a few and practice, and then we're gonna make our patterned pumpkin. All right, guys, are we ready to do our pumpkin? I'm ready. So let's talk about how we're going to draw our pumpkin. Let's look at the lines. So remember how I talked about there's the lines on the actual pumpkin? They're kind of curvy because the pumpkin itself is round and curvy. The shape is round. Is it a perfect circle? Let's look. This is a perfect circle. Is it the same shape? Kind of. It's not really a perfect circle. It's circle-ish, right? So that's what I love about it, because if we can't draw a perfect circle, we don't even want to, because we want to make it natural looking. So it's okay if it doesn't come out exactly how you have in your mind, because pumpkins come in all different rounded shapes. We're going to use our permanent marker, so that makes us certain that we can't erase it. We're going to commit to our line, and even if we make an oopsies, it's okay. We're going to work around it. So before I do that, I want to start with my finger, because when I draw with my finger, it helps me to remember where my line is supposed to go. So we're going to start somewhere in the middle, not too high, because remember, we have to draw this part. That's the stem. So we're going to start here and make a big C. Ready? Here we go. Big C. Okay. Now, we're going to make a little space, and then we're going to do a big curve on the opposite side and connect. So this big curve could be the letter D, right? If we have this line here and then we go across. So I'm going to leave a little space here for my stem. So I'm going to do my dot there, and I'm going to try to connect here. If I don't, it's okay. We can just connect it with another line. Big curve. There. Now, we're going to do a little smile line to connect those two together. Smile. Okay. Does that look exactly like that? No. Is that okay? Of course it is. This is my pumpkin, and your pumpkin doesn't have to look just like mine. So we're going to add the stem, which is kind of straight but angled. I like mine a little curvy. So I'm going to do a little curve like that. And then I'm going to do a little curve like that. And then I'm going to connect them. Is it okay that this line is shorter than that one? Yes, because if you look at it, it's kind of a slant. So I'm just going to do a line like that to connect it. So if we just let it look like this, what is it? What else does it look like? It kind of looks like an apple. Apples are smooth, right? There's not those lines. But the pumpkins have these lines, right? Okay, so let's start here. And if you want to, we can start with our finger, and we're going to do a curved line that kind of follows this one. Ready? And curve. All right, I'm going to do one more. Ready? And curve. Now I'm going to flip it and do it on the opposite side to match this one. Okay, so let's do it on this side. Curve. And then another one. Curve. Now, is that starting to look more like a pumpkin? Yep. Could I add another line? Maybe. But I want to leave it like this because remember, we're going to fill it with patterns of different lines. So let's pull back our sheet of lines. And what I want you to do is for each section, so how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we also have this section, the stem. So for each section, I want you to pick a different line pattern. Now, can we do straight lines on all of them and just do it a different way, a different pattern? Absolutely. So let's see what we can come up with. I'm going to start with this, what is this called again? A horizontal line. It goes straight across, flat, like it's sleeping. It's a sleeping line. All right, so I'm going to pick it for this one. I'm going to go line, and I'm just doing this section, so I'm not going across, but I am filling from this side to this side with this line. I'm going to do another one. I'm repeating my line. I'm making a pattern. You know what it's starting to look like to me? It's starting to look like a curvy ladder that you can climb up. All right, I've done one. Okay, what should I do on this one? I think I want to do waves. I'm going to do some waves. So, can I do waves this way? Yes. Can I do waves this way? Sure. Can I do waves in a diagonal? Ooh, I think I like that. So I'm going to start doing waves. And I'm repeating it. So as I'm doing these curvy lines, I think I want them to start to move, radiate. That means follow this line. See how here it was angled? And I'm kind of following it this way, and it's about to go like that. You don't have to do it like this. I just kind of started following that pattern. All right, I've done a horizontal line, a wavy line. What else can I do? Ooh, I think I'm going to do the zigzag because that's a big space. And I'm going to do zigzags going from left to right, left to right. Here we go. Zigzags. Have you ever seen the jack-o'-lanterns that have the smiles that have the zigzags with the teeth? They can look a little scary, but they can also look silly. All right, look at that. Look how many patterns and different kinds of lines we have already. How many more do we have to go? 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do another one. I don't want to repeat what I've already done here. Let's do something different. So we have, bumpy lines. Let's see, did we do some other ones over here? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We have these big, long, wavy lines, and then we have the loop-de-loops. I think I want to do the loop-de-loops. Yeah, I'm going to do the loop-de-loops over here. All right, here we go. Loop-de-loop-de-loop. And I'm making them smaller. You can make them bigger if you want. And if you don't want to do a loop-de-loop, do you have to do one? No. It's your artwork. You decide what you want to do. What else? We've got one more on the big part of the pumpkin, then we have the stem. I think I want to try to do diagonal lines, and I might decide to cross them. We'll see how I feel. Sometimes I don't always have a plan. I just kind of go for it and see if I like it, if I want to add anything to it. Or even if I do have a plan and it doesn't turn out the way I like, I have to revisit. I have to look at it again and say, okay, what can I add? So this one looks a lot like this one, kind of. Even though these lines are horizontal and these are vertical, I want it to look even more different. So I'm going to go and cross it. all the way down. There. I think I like that better, don't you? All right, we've got one more left. So what can we do there? Well, we haven't done vertical lines, the ones that go straight up. We did zigzags, we did bumps, we did waves, we did the crisscross. I did the horizontal, did not do the vertical. Let's do the vertical. So I'm just going to take lines and go straight down and see how it hops over. So I'm going to follow it, oh, back down here and follow it all the way down, all the way down. Now remember how I made patterns with it also? This is a pattern because I'm repeating it, but you know how we did it this way? You could do it that way. Could we also do dashes going down like that? Of course. So there's lots of different options, and I think I want this one to go down there. That makes me feel better. All right. Look at our pumpkin. Look at all those patterns. So now, if you have time, you can use those brand new crayons that I brought to you, or the markers, or the color pencils. It's really up to you. Or you know what? You can use all three and fill each section in however you want. I can't wait to see your amazing pattern line pumpkins. Bye, guys. Okay, I said I was done, but I just thought of something else really cool. You know, I always love to add things. So you don't have to, but if you want to finish this picture, you can make a border. So a border is a type of line that goes all the way around. Now, you don't have to do just a simple straight line. You can do any kind of line you want. So I think I'm going to do a wiggly line on this side and a wiggly line on this side. Should I do more wiggly lines or should I do some dashed lines? I think I'm going to do some dashed lines here. And you know what? That's just not enough for Miss Marilise. I need more. I need more. Whoops, that paper ran away from, look what happened. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. So I'm gonna go this way. Maybe my paper will cooperate better. I'm holding the phone on one hand, so you would have your helper hand to hold your paper down. Are my dash lines perfectly straight? Nope. And here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I think I'm starting to like that better. Little dot in the middle, add a little pizzazz, a little character to my frame. Dot. Oh, is that a dot or a circle? It's a circle because I didn't fill it in. Now it's a dot. And I'm going to do the same thing up top here. Dot, 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 dot. And see, I'm a big fan of dots. But I also love circles. So I think I'm going to do little circles here like this. Oh, look at that. Miss Marilise could go on and on and on for days. But you've got lots of other fun stuff to do. So if you have time and you want to, you can add a frame like this to your picture to give it that extra special pattern line finish. Isn't that awesome? All right, for real now. Bye.